Hello and namaste everyone. You're watching Smarty Tech Fizz and I am Anjali with a new video related to the MongoDB, and today I am with the new version of the MongoDB, that is the 5.0, and we will be only discussing about the new features of it that has been arrived with this new version. So be tuned with us and we will see the few features that going to be helpful for us in our daily life. There could be many more features that may be helpful for you in some cases, but we will be just doing the overview of it. If it is going to help you, just use the new version and how it can help you. And if you want the implementation of any new version features, just comment it below and I will provide you the videos on it as soon as possible. So let's get started. So you can see when I am typing the as you can see here, when I'm typing the Mongo and coming to the Mongo shell, what it has been saying us to that I'm on a MongoDB version 5.0, but it is also recommending us to use the Mongo SH. So this is the first feature that has been come with the 5.0, is that they are just deprecating the Mongo shell and now we have to use the Mongo SH. So for this you have to type the Mongo SH and then you will come to this new Mongo shell that can be, you can say that this is something very colorful, and if the things are very colorful, it is very going to be readable for the users as well. So this is the first feature that has been come with, you can see the feature, you can say the change that has been come with this new version, that is the shell has been deprecated and new shell has been introduced. This is called as the Mongo SH, okay, or you can say that Mongo, I don't know how it can be pronounced, but okay, let's skip it. But yes, the new shell has been introduced with this. So before this, I think I must tell you that how I downloaded it, but you can check this manual installation of the MongoDB and you can go with either install MongoDB Community Edition or the Enterprise Edition. Choose the system on which you are working, Linux, Mac OS or Windows. I am working on the Linux, that is why I have used this, and I'm using it on the Ubuntu system. And just follow the step one by one, that how you can download the new version. But yes, if you're using the previous version, you want to upgrade, there are some other steps you have to perform for this. We will talk about this some time later, but I want to tell you that okay, if you want to upgrade to the 5.0, you must with the your system must be with the 4.4. if you are using the like say if you are using the 4.0 and you want to upgrade it to the 5.0, then in that case you must firstly upgrade to the 4.2, then 4.4, then 5.0. you can't directly use the 5.0, or you can't directly upgrade it to the 5.0 or the newer versions. Okay, so you have to upgrade it one by one. Now for downloading, you have to use these steps. Just use these steps and perform one by one, and you will be able to download the 5.0 new version, either at the Community Edition or either the MongoDB Enterprise Edition. The steps are given here, you can see that. I will provide you the link in the description box for the manual installation of the MongoDB. Just go one by one. If you face any issue, just comment it below. I will be here for replying you back with the available solutions, and just do it. Okay, so this is how I downloaded from here, and after downloading you can see that my 5.0 version is available, and I'm not going to use the Mongo shell, I will use the Mongo SH. So this is related to the downloading and the first feature of the MongoDB 5.0 version. Now let's going to the some other features of it. I will not going to explain all the features, just giving you the briefing, or you can say just overviewing of some of the features that will be helpful for us in day-to-day life, or in some cases there are other features too, but that feature is something related to the very high versions or high usage of it, but we are not going to use it. If you want to know, just as always, you can mail me at the smartytechfizz@gmail.com, or you can comment it below. Okay, so first thing that I have said, that is they have introduced a new shell. Now next thing, you can see that there has been introduced one more type of collection, that is called the time series collection. And this time series collection is actually very efficient for storing the measurements of period of time. Like say you want to, if you will go now, you can see that if you want to store something like weather data, stock data, website visitors counts, that is related to something related to the time series. Okay, in that time series, that is how you can create the time series collection. This is also something very brief topic. So if you want, we will create a new video on that, and we will be explaining in very brief, in very deep of it, and you will be using it in your application if you want it. So this is the second thing that they has introduced, that is the new collection, that is a time series collection. Very useful when you want to use a efficiently use of the indexes, like improves query efficiency and reduces the disk uses for your data and indexes. This is how they have created this collection. Now next, they have introduced a new some new operators in your aggregation operations. Some of them like $date add. If you want like some add, you want to add something, some time to the date, you want to use the difference between 2 days, subtract, truncate, get filled. So these are the some operators you can introduce in your aggregation operations. This is very simple. I think you can see that they have just used the you have to just use the $date add, and it will add some units, whatever the unit you want to add in the particular time date. Okay, so here's the example, like the $date add. This is the start date, and this is the unit you want to add. This is, you want to add it in a month, and the unit, how much one amount do you add, you want to add the 1 month. So what will it does, it will change this month column 10 to the one more, then it will become the 11. So it will become the 20, 20, 11, 30. So this is how these new operators has been introduced in the in the aggregation operation. You can check them all. Now one more thing that has been introduced, this is the one more operator. This is not the aggregation. You can see that it can be used in the aggregation, but Windows operators has been introduced. This is also one more wide topic that can be discussed in some other video. So as I have said, this video is gonna be like overview of the 5.0 version, but for some topic like window operators and time series collection, that actually needed some other video to be explained very clearly. So just to tell you that Windows operators has been introduced in the pipeline stage, and if you want, like these are the examples, like you want to data, so this is can be used for the one more analytics purpose, like sales between two documents in a collection, sales ranking. It will just provide you like perform an operation on a specified span of documents. So it will provide you the window to the particular span of documents, and you can perform the operation on it. So this is also gonna be like a very large wide topic on it, so we will introduce it later. Next, you can see some aggregation improvements has been done. These improvements, like now if you want to use equal, less than, equals to, greater than equals to, and some other in the expression operator, this gonna be used the index in a very improved, and it is going to improve your performance. So some other improvements has been done. Yes, one more thing, that let operation, you can see, let A equals to 100, let B equals to 100. Now this has been introduced in the MongoDB aggregation operation. You can now use the let operator to just define the some list of variables where you want. And next thing they has introduced like one more I think this is gonna be very useful for me. This is called the improvement in the indexes they have done. In the indexes, if you have created any indexes in your in your developing time or in your MongoDB applications, if you are creating indexes and by chance your system shut down or your MongoDB rolls back, in that case, if you restart the server, if you restart the MongoDB, all the progress that has been done by the MongoDB index during the index creation, let's say it was in 90% creation, MongoDB stops, then and you will restart the MongoDB, it will again start the MongoDB will again start the creating index from the 0%. So this is gonna be very frustrating thing for you. But in this version, that is going to very helpful for me as well. Like if any of the indexes has been in a creation mode and in progress mode, and your system shut downs or your MongoDB rolls back, in that case it will save the progress in the disk. Now when the server restart, index creation resume from the saved position. That I don't think you are just not going to love this, because it is actually going to help us while creating the index. Because after waiting for the 90%, only the 10% is left, and you are seeing that, oh my god, this is gonna be start from the 0%. So this will helpful for, right? So now the progress will going to save in that disk. When the server restart, it will just start from the 90% only. It will not going to start from the 0%. So this is the main thing that I have loved in this version. Now this is the one thing that has been introduced. There are many more things had been introduced, you can check it out, but I am just showing you some main points over here. Now next is the changes has been done for the schema validation. If you know about the schema, if you don't know about the schema validation, let me tell you. Let's say you have one field in your collection. Let's say you have a age field, and you don't want your user to be user will enter age greater than 90 or 100 or 200. In that case, you can apply the validation on the collection level, and if the collection if anyone tries to insert the value greater than 100 or 200, whatever the validation you have introduced in the collection, in that case it will throw you the error. This is the schema validation. Okay, but the changes that has been done here is, now when any document you are going to insert in the schema or in a collection, and it going to fail due to the schema validation, it will help you to some more brief messages, so you will be able to understand why the insertion has been failed. Just it will give you the one more, like, to identify the issue while inserting the it will just give you the explanation that why your schema, why your collection, why your data has been failed while inserting to the collection. Correct? Now next thing they have introduced, like the database profiler filter option. What does that mean? If I have created a video on that too, that how to enable the profiling level in the MongoDB. It will help you to for the profiling logging to the database, and it will help you to understand what are the queries were taking much more time, and there are multiple things you can do in the profiler. So they have provided you the filter option. What filter option is help you? It will help you to understand. You can use the filter expression in place of this, and you can determine which operations are profiled and logged. Now you can filter them. You can filter the operation that could be logged in the MongoDB for the profiling. If you want to know much more about the profiler, you can just go to my some previous videos and you will find it out, the profiling in the database. Now it has been changed with, now it has been introduced with the filter option. Okay, so now you can use the filter option to filter the types of logging or type of profiling in the MongoDB. Next is, if you have seen my other videos, I have explained about the monitoring of the MongoDBs, or monitoring that the performance of it. So while performance or while monitoring of it, you can even check like what are the slow queries running on your system. Okay, in that case, if you find out the slow queries, you must be knowing who is the culprit, that is who throws that slow query which is just shutting down our system or shutting down our MongoDB. Now this slow query operation logs will now contain the remote client IPs. That is, you can see that starting in MongoDB 5.0, slow operation log messages include the remote field specifying client IP address. Now the client IP address will be logging into it, and it will help us to understand who has thrown, who is executed this type of query which is making our system slow, and this is the slow query log. Okay, so something I have explained some of the few features that has been introduced in the 5.0 version. If you know want to know some brief of it, if any of the option like time series collection or let variable or dollar set window fields, these actually required some other videos, new videos that should be uploaded. If you want that, just comment it below, or you can mail me at the smartytechfish@gmail.com for any queries you have, and I will be surely help you out as soon as possible. So till then, take care, bye bye.